Hey everyone, today's a quick video, well maybe not so quick, on the EOS R3. For those of you that subscribe to my channel to watch computer stuff, like I said in the other video where I did a lens, this is my other hobby, so every now and then we'll get some camera stuff on here. It won't be all the time, obviously. And for those of you that don't watch my channel normally, if you like computer stuff, stick around. I do that most of the time, okay? I'm also a hobbyist, and I like cameras and I like camera gear. If you're watching this channel, you probably like camera gear. I mean, watching this video. Um, Everything here today I bought on my own, so everything I say will be my own opinion, and you know, I just take it as a hobbyist. I'm not a professional, so I'm not a professional sports shooter by any means. And so, with that said, let's get going. I already took the camera out of the box, so I'm just gonna show you the quick box contents real quick. Um, you get a Canon strap, gold, manuals and junk, the cover, the eye cup for the camera body, which doesn't come installed. You can just top it right on. We'll get to the body in a second, but see if I can. Yeah, I need to look at it. And it just kind of lines right up, and there's the eye cup. So I don't know why that's not installed. It seems kind of weird, but it doesn't come installed in the box. The camera used to be here, but obviously the camera's no longer there. And in the very bottom of the box, you will get the charger. The charger charges more than one battery. It charges two batteries at once. I have a charger, so I'm not going to be using this. And I normally charge my EOS R5 that I had and my EOS R with the like a PD charger. So I never really use any of the chargers. I mean, granted, I have another one that charges 1DX batteries, so I'm not going to bother with all that. And let me get all this box stuff out the way. Okay, so now we have the body itself. Let me see. Let me make sure this is focused down correctly. Okay. I'm pulling manual focus. I'm shooting this on the EOS R, which sometimes tends to, not be so great for some weird reason when I'm shooting from above. But here's the battery cover. Okay, you get a rubber battery door. Ooh, oops. Okay. So here's the battery itself. This is a 1DX battery. For those who have been buying 1DX cameras, this should be very familiar to you. This is a 2700 mAh battery, which is kind of sad because that is the same mAh that we had on the 1DX Mark II. I don't remember about the original 1DX, but you figure in 5 years they would have came out with a higher capacity battery of the same size, right? So this whole argument about, built-in battery grip, no, don't. This is not a battery grip. This is a camera grip, okay? Battery grips, in my opinion, maybe I'm too new to this. Battery grips, in my opinion, allow for additional batteries, not one battery, okay? I just want to bring up a point before I come back to this body. This is 2700 mAh. And people like to complain about saying that this camera, the A1 should have came with a battery grip. Yes, the A1 should have came with a battery grip. I agree. However, if you open an A1 battery grip, you'll notice it takes two Z batteries. And each Z battery, for folks that don't know, is 2260 mAh. So two of these together is about, what is that? 5,000, that's 4,000, 500 something mAh, which is quite a bit more than 2,700. Now, I know mAh isn't everything, okay? Also, camera efficiency for the battery, etc. The lenses you use, all that matters. But at the same time, this is more battery at the end of the day than that. So that is a vertical grip, just a grip. And you need a grip on both of these cameras. So if you have an A1, buy a grip. If you don't want to buy a grip, use one of these. I have this on my R5 as well. This is the only way the big lenses are usable. On an R5, on anything. So back to the R3 here. In the front, you have 4 buttons. These 2 buttons, actually, from what I can tell in the menu, these bottom 2 buttons are actually one button. Just one is for when you rotate it this way, and one is for when you rotate, have a normal configuration. The other button is also the same as the top button, or maybe the other way around. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's actually only two buttons, okay? They're pairs. And one of them by default is depth of field preview, and the other one is tracking on off, which is a nice touch. You can turn the tracking on off pretty quick. On the back of the camera, a standard Canon affair, nothing really new here. This is from the 1DX Mark III. You can control the focus point by gliding your finger over it. By default, it's not turned on, and I haven't figured out how to turn it on yet, so I still have to look into that. And then you have the video photo switch, which is really nice. Regular joystick, and plain, same old switch turn on like before. And you get the same layout on this side and on this side, orientation-wise, you get the same layout. Also, you get the drive speed on top here, and then you get exposure compensation over here. And if you take the rubber shoe off, you see there's a digital hot shoe. About time, right? So, and they're saying that if you don't have this cover on, it doesn't have the weather sealing anymore, which I guess makes sense. Now, coming to the left side, you have your LAN port, and then you have your USB-C and your HDMI out. I kind of wish this was a full-size HDMI, given the size of his body, but it's not. There's a microphone and your headset, and then a flash port, and that pretty much wraps it up for the side. And we come to the other side, you get one SD, one CF Express. This is kind of disappointing, given the fact that this is a camera all about speed, that we have one CF Express slot. You can see it clearly can fit two. It's not a space issue. It's more of just a Canon cripple hammer issue, in my opinion. There's no reason why this, folks like to say, oh, some people use SD cards, they have SD cards, they can use the camera. Nobody buying a $6,000 camera doesn't care about redundancy, right? Nobody who buys a $6,000 camera can't afford a CF Express card. CF Express cards are so cheap now. They're like pretty much the same price as V90 SD cards. I remember a couple months ago, I actually got 1 terabyte CF Express cards, the Delkin, I believe, from B&H. It was $400, 1 terabyte. So this whole excuse is bullshit. It's bullshit. There should have been 2 CF Express. That's the end of it. But the body feels good in the hand. It's actually pretty light. I'll do a weigh it right now, and then we can kind of see. Let me see here on the scale. All right, let's see. Is it zeroed out? I can't really tell if it's zeroed out. Okay. So the body with the battery inside is 1,041 grams. Okay. And for reference, an A1 with the grip with 2 batteries inside, you can kind of ignore the Peak Design straps, is 1,115 grams. So this is actually heavier. That's a little surprising, right? Given the size. If you look at them side by side, the A1 is definitely taller with the grip on. I probably kind of tell this way. But the R3 is more of a chunky boy, and it got more girth on the side. Now, I would say, in terms of robustness, they kind of feel the same. Like the R3 does feel like it would survive more of a beating than the A1 does, but I think that's really because the A1 has all the buttons exposed. And in terms of weather sealing, people like to say that, I'd rather have my camera survive in the water, therefore I won't shoot with a Sony. I don't know. I've had my A7 IV in the rain. I've had this, by a freshwater boat in the rain, with rain on it, and I didn't have a problem. I can see why, for example, if I open this, you can see, it goes into the groove pocket, right? But I can understand why some folks would think that, because if you look at the rubber here, it's kind of more of a sealing kind of deal. Like, it does look like this is better weather sealed, but I wouldn't go so far to say that this would be a problem, right? So, yeah, that pretty much goes over the physical aspects I just want to talk about the eye control real quick. I actually set up the eye control. Um, I wear glasses. I have astigmatism, and I have transition lenses. So while my glasses aren't the world's thickest lenses, they do got lots of extras going on, and it works for me, which is shocking. I originally thought it would not work for me at all. Reason being is because of the glasses. Now, I did calibrate it and then refine the calibration 3 times. Doing the fourth and fifth time, I did not find it to be any more accurate. Um, I would say, uh, let's say I want to look at a person's face, it would get the general face, but but it doesn't seem to go. For example, I can't pick between the eye and the chin. That's kind of like asking too much, right? Um, but just to get it to like a general area, it's extremely quick, and it actually does work, which is pretty game changing if you want to follow things like birds or something, um, which is what I like to do. So I haven't had a chance today because it was dark by the time it came in, but I do plan on hunting some squirrels with it tomorrow or something, since I will have a chance during the daytime. Um, Speaking of which, uh, this portion is going to cover cost. Um, there's a lot of people that say that this is not an A1 competitor and this is not a Z9 competitor, but unfortunately, Canon has priced things based on loyalty, not competition, right? So I don't care. Like you can get an A1 right now, secondhand for 6 grand. It's not hard, right? There are people selling new ones that they bought. I mean, if you look on forums so forth, people are selling new ones for like 6,200. So the battery grip is like $300, 6,500, right? It's not you buy another battery for this. You're at 6,200, 6,300. It's the price difference is negligible. When you're spending that much money, the price difference is negligible. Now, when it comes down to lenses, with the Sony, you do get more third party like Sigma, Tamron, which like the Tamron 35 to 150 f2. I do have it, and I would say it's extremely good outside of not being able to shoot 30 FPS. But a lot of those lenses, I don't see why you would need to shoot 30 FPS at like 50 millimeter. I really don't understand why anybody would need that. But maybe I'm not pro enough to understand why you would need 30 FPS at 50 millimeter. But with that said, this is part one. I'm going to take these out tomorrow, and what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to pair this up with the RF 70-200 2.8, and the closest thing I can get to that is actually the brand new 7200 GM version 2. Now, for those of you guys who are also interested in this lens and you're a Sony shooter, I can tell you right away, this lens is extremely quick. I barely got shit with it. Just shooting it with it at home, I can tell you from A to B, it focuses so fast, so silent, just like the 51.2 GM. It is extremely quick. I'm not saying that the Canon isn't silent, but it's just this is fast. And amazingly, check this out. So this is the newer version, right? That just came out. And if I weigh it for you, you'll see that it is 1,264 grams. Now, if I weigh the RF lens, hood and all, same thing, it is 1,375 grams. So the Canon lens, while smaller, is actually heavier. I mean, not smaller, but collapsed in. If I actually zoom these lenses out, you'll see that the Canon is actually a little bit larger. Actually, let me get the hood on. So if I zoom these out with the hood on, well, this one there's no zoom; it's just internal, right? You'll see that the Canon lens is actually longer than the Sony lens. See that? Just by a hair. So Sony has done a very nice job with this new GM 7200. It's a little pricey, but it's the same price as the RF. I think it's 28. I think the RF is now also 28. So same price. It's a really, really, really nice. It's fast. It's quiet. It's fast. So I'm looking forward to trying that. But with that said, yeah, if you have any questions about the body, put in the comments. I haven't really had that much hands-on time with it. Like I said, I got it today. So, but I do have quite a bit of time with this camera right here. So I know more about this camera right now. So if you have any questions about, I don't know, maybe you're deciding between this and this, throw your comments. I'll answer it if I can. If I can't, I'll tell you I can't. So with that said, I look forward to trying this out tomorrow and in the coming weeks. And then, in a day or two, maybe in about a week, I'll put up an impression video and how I think about it. I think the biggest thing is the IAF for me. And the fact that this is probably Canon's best video camera that's not a dedicated video camera right now. Reason being is the R5 is just, I mean, it's a great stills camera and a video camera if you want to attach a fan somewhere. Um, I shot B-roll with the R5 for the most part. If you watch this channel, you see I shoot B-roll for stuff. And the camera was always giving me an overheating warning. And I was getting the overheats in the house. So I ended up just shooting everything at 4K non-HQ. And then in post, I would just add 50, I would bump up the sharpening. And that kind of gave me a similar look. But it was annoying. I got the overheating in stills in 70-degree weather. It didn't shut the camera off, but it was annoying enough for me to feel like I'm not a professional, yet I find that annoying. And I can only imagine if I was a working professional and I saw overheating signs on my camera all the time, I would probably stop using that camera. So there's a lot of people that like the R5. I totally get it. If it works for you, it works for you. I liked the camera in the beginning, and then I started liking less and less when I got all the overheating. And for those of you who think it's like, oh, maybe I got a bad one, well, I can tell you I went through 3 of them. Okay, and they all have the same overheating logo. They all have the same like random error with the lens. Doesn't matter what lens. I just get a random error. I have to power the camera down, turn it back on. All 3 of them on every single firmware. So maybe it's my bad luck, but that was my experience with the R5. Great camera, but lots of quirks, and I'm hoping this one will be different. I do like the body. I think, I mean, this it just feels really good. It's a lot lighter than it looks, and it does feel good in the hand. I'm curious to how long this one battery will last, though. But it definitely does feel like they could have increased the capacity on a battery after like 6 years. I mean, technology does improve, right? So the fact that they decided not to, I mean, if you think about it, before we had these Z batteries in the Sony, we had the other batteries from like the A7 II, and those were the same size. I forgot, similar same size, and they were total crap compared to the Z batteries. So I feel like camera just use, Canon, time to sell more batteries. It is what it is. But I'll do a follow-up, and thanks for watching part 1, and I'll come back in a little bit and do part 2. Thank you for watching, and take care.